Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Saturday morning, and not Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. Got a long bike ride tomorrow that I'm going to be participating in. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to, get ready for it. So I thought, what's the best way to do that? Obviously, pasta. But what I'm going to make is I'm going to make a garlic. Mushroom sauce. Okay, and it's really, really good, but there's not a lot of ingredients. The one main ingredient is mushrooms, and let me show you what I got for them. Okay, so anyway, so mushrooms, we got shiitake mushrooms, and then we got baby bellas, and then another set of mushrooms. Here's your portobello. Okay, onions, right? Obviously the garlic, okay. And then we're gonna have about a half a cup of cream in there, and just a little bit of tomato paste, and then finally some Parmesan. This is basically an Italian mix of Italian cheeses that I got in here. Okay, grate it up very finely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go put on the water, we're gonna go heat up the stove, and we're gonna go get cooking. So hey, come on along for the ride. All right, so here we go. We got the pan on, the water's on. Okay, this is where we're gonna make the pasta over here. It's almost boiling, so it's almost ready. Now the pan has been on for a little while. There is one secret ingredient I'm gonna put in here, and you guys are gonna have to wait for that secret ingredient. Got to get out some sea salt, right? And some black pepper, and just a little bit of there we go. A little bit of cumin and a little bit of Italian seasoning. All right. So we're gonna flip that in there. Boom. Oh, I like butter. Not too hot. You don't want to scorch it. The first job you're going to do, extra virgin olive oil. The first thing you want to do is we are going to ensure that when we cook the mushrooms, we're not going to cook the mushrooms to the point where you just break it all down. It's going to be a good cook, and you don't want to necessarily. You just want to get the water out of the mushrooms. That's basically the key. Now, this is the first time I've actually used dried shiitakes. I'm sorry. The shiitakes that I well, they didn't have any. They didn't have any fresh ones, so we used dried, but that's okay. All right, let's go ahead and get those in there, and we'll just go ahead and put this on top for a little bit. Now that's the portobello, and I might as well do the shiitakes with the portobello. We'll just go ahead and throw those in there just like that. Very good. And here we go. This looks like it's boiling. So what we're gonna do? We're going to get the spaghetti out, drop it in there just like that, and let that boil. Now I do add a little bit of salt to it. My salt's right here. And not a whole lot, but just a little bit of salt, drop it in there. One of the things I think a salt does, I think it helps the sauce stick to the whatchamacallit, the pasta. Alright. Swirl that around a little bit. And now we're off to the races. Put the fire down. Just like that. And when that's done, now we're going to go ahead and start stirring this stuff. Come on, open up. There we go. Looking good. Remember, just take the water out of it. Oh, this smells good already. Man, that smells good already. All right. Now, one of the things that I do have is I also have the olive oil on standby. And another thing that I have, just in case, is I would dump some, basically some of that brine water in there too. So, we're off to the races, we're off and running. And let me get these ready and then we'll get back. All right, the portobellos and shiitakes look like they're pretty good. So I'm gonna literally take these off and set them aside. Because I wanna do the other ones, I wanna do the baby bellas also. And you notice there's some remnants left there, and that's a good thing. That's what we want. Because we're gonna use that. We're gonna not clean that pan, and then we're gonna use the remnants of that. So we'll put some more olive oil in there. I should have kept the butter out. Why did I put the butter away? And then the butter. Put the butter in there. And it's going. Boom. There we go. Now these are obviously the baby bellas, and I think I cut them a little bit too wide, but usually between a quarter inch and a half inch will do. But I love the taste of sauteed mushrooms and butter. We'll just throw them in there like that and let them go to town. Now these, I will just sprinkle some salt on. Kind of brings out the flavor. Maybe just a little bit of pepper. Just enough. Perfect. And then we will go to town cooking. There we go. All right, when these are done, we'll turn you back on. All right, so I got these cooking down right to where I want it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the onions. We'll just throw them in there just like that. Well, the reason why I took the shiitakes and the portobellos out is I didn't want to overcook them. But we've gotten to the point right now where you're not going to overcook the baby bellas when I want to cook up the onions. One thing you don't want with the onions is you don't want them caramelized. You want them soft. You want them releasing their flavor, but you don't want them to caramelize. So, heat's a little bit lower, and you want to see how this smells. Oh man, that smells good. So, you don't want them to caramelize, okay? Alright. Next thing, some garlic. You might as well just go ahead and throw. That's like a clove, that's another clove, that's another clove, that's another clove. Well, let's say I used 4 cloves of garlic. Be a great bartender, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh. Now that garlic, along with the mushrooms, oh, it smells so delicious. Yep, this is exactly what I want. You see how they're getting soft, they're releasing their water, they're releasing their flavor. That's what I want. Oh my goodness gracious. So good, so good, so good. Be back in a sec. All right. Oh yeah. Oh. You guys, if you guys were standing here smelling this right now, oh man, this smells so good. I could live on mushrooms and onions, forever. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we got the shiitakes and the portobellos. We're gonna go ahead and throw those back in, just like that. All right. So those are in. And the next thing we're going to do, the heavy cream. We're just going to put that in there. And while that's in there, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to dip in and grab some pasta water. All right. Just going to mix this a little bit, get everything out, get everything under there. All right. Now we got some just enough, not a whole lot. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a half a cup of tomato paste. And now we're just going to mix this all together. Kind of thickens it up a little bit. Remember though, if it gets too thick, that's what we got the water for. The water has some salt in it. So it has a little bit of flavor. Oh, excellent. This is really coming together nicely. It's reducing down to where I want it. Pasta's almost ready. Okay, now for some water. Go ahead and put that in there like this. See how nice that? Oh yeah. Okay. Now we're a little bit of Italian seasoning. Okay. Dab or so of cumin. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. One of my favorite spices right here. All right. Salt. And some black pepper. All right. Yeah, this is good. This is thickening up nicely. Perfect. This is good comfort food right here. Get that off of there, get that off of there. Delicious. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cover this back up, maybe just a little bit more water in there. All right, we're going to cover this back up and let it reduce down for a little bit and then throw the pasta in it. Check it out. All right, so, oh yeah, that's reduced down very nicely. All right, so what I wanted to do is I cook my pasta just about al dente. And then what I do, I just bring it in here and do that number. And half of it falls in the stove. But that's the way it goes, right? And we're going to reduce that flame just a tad because we don't need a whole thing. And then we just start mixing everything around. Just like that. More of this. Start mixing it around. Now the coup de grace here, there's two things I'm going to add. One I didn't tell you about, but it's bacon bits. I cooked some bacon this morning and I wanted to add some bacon bits to it. So that's what I did. So we got some bacon in there now with the mushrooms. Notice I didn't use a lot of salt, and I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't use a lot of salt. Because the bacon was salted up. Get it tasting really good here. And finally, what we're going to do, we're going to put our cheese on it. Just like that. We'll mix that in there. Perfect. So the cheese, you can use Parmesan, grated Parmesan Romano. Let's see, just about anything. And that's it. It's done. So what we're gonna do, we are gonna get out a bowl. We're gonna get some of this and we're gonna dip it in here. I actually probably want more than that. There we go. See the cheese hanging from it? Oh my gosh, I love that. Yep, this is gonna be good. Maybe a little. Ooh. And that's that. We are done. Turn that off, turn that off, turn that off, turn that off. All right. I'll meet you over there for the tasting. And there it is. That's what it looks like. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's get this out. Let's see what it tastes like. You see all that cheese? I love that. The mushrooms. Oh, 3 different types of mushrooms. That's spectacular. That is absolutely delicious. Sweat in my eye. Yup. Perfect. That is good. Definitely gonna keep you going for tomorrow. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Very simple recipe, very easy to do. It can get a little pricey now, okay? So with the mushrooms and the cream and some of the other things that you gotta buy, it can be a little bit expensive, but it's very easy to make and it's absolutely delicious. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your friends. Yummy. Talk to you later.